Swing and a drive. You can forget about this one, folks. 3-run homer way up there.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Blue Jays Away. Chris here with Daniel.
Hello, hello.
Hey, and we're talking about 5 potential breakout players for the Toronto Blue Jays in 2024. So, yeah, there's 5 of them. Who are we thinking, Daniel?
I don't know why, but it just felt really weird when you said 2024, even though it's already 3 months in.
Oh, really? I was like...
Yeah, I don't know why. Anyhow, maybe that's because for the first guy here, Chris, we've been saying he's going to break out every season, and that's Kevin Biggio.
Heck yeah. That's my favorite player, for those who don't know. Big Kevin Biggio guy here.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yep, I know. But hey, he's looking pretty solid in the spring so far. He's got, what is this? He's got 3 games played. You know, he's got, where is he? 4 hits and 8 at-bats. So he's batting .500 right now. Pretty crazy, not going to lie. 600 on base percentage. I mean, obviously that's not representative for an entire season. But, you know, it's still pretty good.
I mean, the thing with Biggio, it's the same thing every year. It's just, he walks a lot. He gets on base a good amount, but he just never hits the ball a lot. Like, he always stands there and looks at so many strikes.
He does, but then that's also like his game, though, you know, just taking walks and stuff. And I mean, I feel like he'll be really good if they ever include like the robo-umps into the MLB, because most of the time he kind of is right, but it's kind of hard to take those borderline pitches.
Like, exactly, like he is right, but and at the end of the day, if they're gonna call it a strike, they're gonna call it a strike. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
that's the thing. It's like, well, I mean, you know, borderline. I'm sure he'd have crazy season if he were to be in AAA right now, but.
Yeah, no, he's definitely an MLB player. Don't get me wrong, but he's supposed to be the third one in this big 3, right? You know, Vladdy and Bo have both kind of had their breakout seasons, right? Vladdy with 2021, and Bo to me is the best out of the 3 of them right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then Biggio's he's just kind of there, like he's just an MLB guy, and like this is this guy who's gonna have.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's nothing wrong with it, but he's supposed to be better. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's supposed to be. Not a superstar, like an all-star. He's supposed to be an all-star game by now, right?
That would have been. I mean, maybe this year, maybe he'll be an all-star. He'll have a break. If he had like this, you know how we had a really good second half last year. If he had that second half in the first half, it could have been a conversation for him to be an all-star. I think.
I was gonna say that last month and a half of baseball was probably the best baseball I've ever seen Biggio play. He was swinging at strikes, and on 0-2, he was actually swinging at close pitches. He was laying off the strikes that were, you know, way out of the zone, get the balls kind of thing. He was pretty decent defensively. He runs pretty fast, which I never actually realized that. He's pretty quick. He can still good at...
He's like a smart baseball player. Like, on the base paths, like, he doesn't do anything
he's
stupid.
So smart on the bases. Like, he's going first to third when he needs to. He very rarely gets picked off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, it's just a matter of he can get the hitting together, I think. And I think now having... what it seems like he's going to platoon with Davis Schneider at second base and possibly play some 3-bag. Yeah. It's not a bad option for him. This could be the season.
Yeah, so I'm just taking a look at Biggio's stats from July to the end. You know, let's go to the end of September. So Biggio's stats last year from then was pretty solid, I think. He had a 256 average, which is perfectly normal. 383 on base percentage, though, which is huge, and a 113 WRC plus. He had a 15% strike walk rate, which pretty elite, not gonna lie, and a 23% strikeout rate. So he was pretty solid. He had 2 bombs in that time, 3 stolen bases, 41 hits actually. So yeah, I mean, if he could do that all year, I'll take it.
Yeah, like you said, and I think he does better versus righties, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, he's a lefty, so.
Who knows? We might be able to see him be a righty specialist. I almost said lefty, righty specialist this year, and yeah, his value. I mean, it could go up, and who knows what that opens up for the Jays, man. But yeah, they definitely need Biggio to get rolling, Chris, as well as this next guy here that we're about to talk about. And I'm blanking on the guy. Who was it?
Dalton Varsho.
Dalton Varsho. Thank you.
His spring training stats, looking pretty solid. He has 9 games played. He's got 6 hits and 19 at bats, hitting .316 with a .462 on base percentage, which is kind of nice in 19 games. That's way better than any of his stats at all last year. So kind of happy for the guy. You know, he needs a good year, and he's hit 2 doubles as well. So I like that.
I mean, the reason I probably forgot him was because he just had such an irrelevant season last year.
Oh, he
Like,
did.
it was so bad.
Yeah, it wasn't very good, and I don't know if it was just the pressure of coming to Toronto after being traded for a top prospect, or it's just like had to get used to the surroundings. I don't really know, but I think he'll have a better year this year.
I mean, this is a guy that's got big time pop, Chris. Like, he's got home run power, and in a stadium that's supposed to benefit lefty hitters, like it theoretically should work out. And he's first of all,
Mhm.
his before I say anything else, his defense is elite, and it always has been elite, right? So
Oh, so good, so
it's
good.
so good. And watching it firsthand last year, like some of the balls that he gets to,
He deserved a Gold Glove.
oh yeah, like some of the balls he gets to, if we had Lourdes the year before, Lourdes would have caught it, but it would have made like a spectacular catch. Marshall just gets there casually.
Yeah, he just like walks the
Right.
ball. It's like in his
Yeah.
glove. You just know. And if we didn't re-sign Kevin Kiermaier this year, Varsho would be the everyday starting center fielder. It's just that
Oh, I think
Kevin
going forward,
Kiermaier's
he
goaded.
will be. This might be
Yeah,
Kiermaier's last stint with the Jays, but yeah,
I think so.
definitely
I
going
think so.
forward, he's probably going to be it's center fielder for sure.
Hmm.
And it's just any hit. I don't know what it was last year. He had trouble hitting, and I
It
think it
was
was just his whiff.
top of the
He was
zone. It was the
whiffing on
top of the
everything,
zone.
right?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was like a
everything.
lot of our team though. It was just whiff on a high fastball. That was pretty much everybody. We were like the easiest team to pitch to because nobody could hit a high fastball.
Yeah, and it wasn't just him. It was right through the entire order, but he obviously took the brunt of it, being the new face, like you said, getting a top prospect in exchange or whatever. And it's not like he had a bad year. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to defend his stats at all.
Hmm.
But I definitely think there's a 250 hitter in there with like 20 plus bombs and like 80 plus RBIs.
Oh, definitely. And let's move on to another guy. Because we don't want the video going on
Yeah.
too long. We're doing 5 guys here. Ernie Clement. I think he's gonna make the team. It's kind of bold, but I think he's gonna make the team. He's hitting 400 right now with a 423 on base and a 1.14 OPS in spring training. Every time I watch the guy, he's got 2 bombs too. Like I didn't know he was a power hitter. He's almost what is he? Is he leading the team in home runs right now? Okay, Kirk is. Other than Kirk, Clement is tied with Danny Burgers and some other guys. So Clement looks pretty good. And he has no options. So it's either you DFA him and he's going to get picked up somewhere, or you put him on the team. I want him on the
First of
team.
all, why the heck did we sign IKF when we could just use Ernie Clement?
I agreed. That
Like,
I don't know.
first of all, get that out of the way. You know the falafel slander on this channel. We absolutely cannot stand IKF. So,
I know, but not big falafel guys here.
but yeah, Clement is. If they didn't sign IKF, I would have said for sure he's on the team because realistically, that's what they need. They need a guy who could play kind of second, third, and do it really well. And he's kind of young, can still hit. Like
Hmm.
he's got potential. And he kind of showed it towards that year when he got called up there, Chris. I don't know when it was, July maybe.
Yep.
But yeah, like you said, he's looked good during spring training. Like you said, every time you look at the game, he's the guy that makes an impact.
100%. Yeah, I
I
just
mean,
want to see how he does.
speaking of impact guys, Chris, in spring, Howen Francis,
Yeah, he's looking pretty
he
solid.
looked really good last year, and he's looking really good again.
Hmm. He is looking really good this year. In spring, he's got what are his stats right now? He's got a 3.38 ERA with a 1.13 WHIP, looking solid. An 11.3 K per nine for Bowden.
I was gonna say his strikeouts per nine is going to be insane, and it was good last year too for his
Mhm.
whatever spots that he had there.
Absolutely. And last year, yeah, you said he had a 1 ERA or something like that.
Something I'm gonna try to find it really quick,
Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure
it was crazy.
it was really good, and it was almost like when we were talking about it, me and you were just kind of like, why the heck are we talking about this guy? But I mean, now that I see the stats, like he had a 1.73 ERA last year in 20 games he pitched.
That's insane.
He also had a save, by the way, which is kind of crazy to think about.
I think it was a
And
3 inning save. Might have been a 3 inning save.
might have been. And he pitched 36 innings and he had 35 strikeouts.
That's great.
Oh, and he
That's
had an
really
under 1 whip. Like this is very sneaky numbers for a team that needs some pitching depth because who knows what's going to happen
Yeah.
with Manoah this year.
Him and Mitch White both looking pretty solid too.
Yeah.
I have a feeling though that Bowden will probably start the year in the rotation because I think either Gosman or Manoah will likely not make their first start. I don't know which one, probably one of the two. Most likely Manoah
Agreed.
will miss a start. So I think Bowden's just going to be plopped in that rotation, and I'm thrilled for the guy.
I also could see him being used as a long man. Like, this guy could be
Mhm.
an elite long man.
Yep.
For a team that realistically, if everything pans out, their rotation's really good on paper.
It's so
It's
nice.
just, but add it to the bullpen, which is could be good, like even better.
Yeah,
Excuse
absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, like I said, I think he's going to be a starter to start the year, but who knows? Maybe him and Manoah, if Manoah comes back, maybe Manoah does like 3 innings, Bowden does 3 innings, and then we just take it to the bullpen after that.
It's not a bad idea. And like I said, for a team that needs strikeout stuff, he definitely could be a guy, Chris. Um,
Absolutely. And there's one more guy I think we're going to talk about.
yeah, go ahead. You introduce this guy.
I forgot who you were going to talk about, so I think you can introduce this guy.
I mean, we've kind of talked about a little bit, and it's got to be Yiel Rodriguez. Like, this is probably one of
Yes,
the
him.
most question mark guys on the team, just because we
Has
really
he
don't know
pitched
what he's
yet?
about.
Has he pitched?
Still
in
hasn't
spring
pitched, and
training?
I've been
Okay.
informed by viewers he is injured right now, so
Oh,
he's gonna probably start in AAA and do some rehab stuff. So I've been informed that's why he hasn't pitched a lot. But yeah, like this guy could. I mean, he's an international signing, so he could have a very good breakout season.
mhm. Yeah. I guess he'll probably start maybe as, like you said, as a reliever in AAA, or then be a starter, move his way up, and then get into the bullpen, and then maybe the starting rotation for us. I don't really know how the Jays want to play it, but I don't know. He's looking good. I saw him throwing today on Twitter. He was
Yeah,
throwing a little bit. Was it against Vlad? He was pitching against.
I think he's done simulated games, but he actually hasn't pitched in a game yet. If you know what I mean.
Oh,
Like
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like he's done games against like Vlad and Bo and like that kind of thing, but I don't think
Mhm.
he's actually pitched against like another team yet.
That's fair. Just let him build up. I mean, guy hasn't thrown
Yeah.
since the World Baseball Classic last year, so I mean, don't kind of go crazy on him.
Like we
Um,
said, probably the biggest question mark on the team right now, besides Manoah, is Yariel. Like, we gave this guy
absolutely,
a good amount of money for some good term, which if everything pans out is an elite deal. Um,
absolutely.
but yeah, you just don't know what you're getting with this guy. This guy could be the next Kota Senga who comes in and just dominates the league, but he could also be like Shun Yamaguchi.
He could be. And that's why. I mean, he's getting paid like a decent amount, like what, 8 million a year. But then again,
Something.
also in total, that's like 32 million that he's getting. So it's really not the worst contract in the world if he doesn't pan out. But then I kind of like paying that much for somebody who could have that upside of a really good pitcher.
It's not even the money we're paying him; it's the term. Like he's 5 years here. I'm pretty sure.
Exactly. So that's even less then,
Like,
because he's
imagine
getting
being
like
no
30.
offense for Yamaguchi, but imagine giving Yamaguchi this deal and then having how he is 5 years of him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he'd be DFA'd. We just eat the contract, but
Yeah,
I don't know. Kind of interesting, you know?
exactly. I could
Yeah,
also see a world where the Jays also put him and Bowden Francis in the bullpen.
yeah, I can see that too.
Last
I don't
note
know how
there.
hard each of them throw. I like kind of like guys who throw kind of hard in the bullpen. So like maybe Mitch White takes a nod in the bullpen because he's throwing like 98 now. So Mitch White's looking also like a snack. I'm just saying, to be in the rotation sometime this year. We'll see though. We'll see.
Looks like Bowden's Francis's fastball, just because I have it stuck up here, is 95 roughly.
That's not bad. That's
From
not
what it
bad.
says here.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know where Yair is because there's no information on him on Baseball Savant because he hasn't pitched in the MLB or any minor stuff yet.
Yeah, nobody knows. But with that being said, guys, let us know who your breakout players for 2024 are. We'll probably do our season predictions coming soon, you know, World Series, MVPs, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
With that being said, see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
Later.